We watch shows online and we rate them. Talk about how much we love them or hate them. Yes, we're like everyone else on the internet, no need to get shirty. But hey, if you enjoy people ranting for hours, welcome friend to Bingeworthy.
Okay, spoilers! How are we doing in terms of time?
We are at just under 15 minutes.
Okay, awesome.
And our time is working.
Right, so spoilers! Talk about plot and writing.
Right, so
Where do we start?
Let's start at the beginning.
So at the start of the episode, we essentially don't know what's going on yet, and basically it starts with D'Artagnan about to fight in a duel. Portos was like, well, you know, the most important thing to do in a duel. And it was like...
And D'Artagnan was like, honor, bravery, and he was like, no, survival.
Don't die!
Don't die!
Basically.
Atos alerts them as they start fighting, oh look, the Red Guards.
Yeah, essentially, with that tone of because everyone else in the scene is shouting, the guards! And it goes, the Red Guards.
He so couldn't give a fuck. And they all run off, and there's a kind of cute moment in retrospect where Aramis is like, at least D'Artagnan knows the motto of the Musketeers. Every man for himself, and they all run off.
Yeah, which is a cute note to the all for one and one for all thing. It actually got a chuckle out of me. Again, we take what we can get with the show.
I was mildly amused because I thought it was out of character, but then I found out what was going on, and I was like, okay, fine, that's fine.
D'Artagnan gets arrested and sentenced to death for dueling.
Everyone gets sentenced to death.
At which point we just looked at each other and we were like, what the hell?
This is why everyone was so calm in episode 1, because this happens every second week.
And we were like, we couldn't possibly be doing this again. And turns out we're not.
Yeah.
It's all a plot, it's all a conspiracy. Because D'Artagnan is going undercover.
Very badly, might I add. He is not got a subtle bone in his body, that boy. Okay, so the Cardinal is in on this plan. Everybody's in on this plan except the King and Queen. Everybody else is like totally down with this plan. He's got to get into this cell, which has got this guy in it who stole a bunch of gunpowder, and they want to know where the gunpowder is. So he's got to like make buddies with this guy and get him to tell him. And I swear, he sits there and he's like, so, what are you in here for? I'm in here because I wanted to be a musketeer, but then they betrayed me. I hate the Musketeers now. Do you hate the Musketeers?
Yeah,
there's a pause, and then later he's like, okay, so how about we talk again about how much we've been betrayed before and how much I hate the Musketeers and I'm not one of them. It was that on the nose, and I was just sitting there going, honey, do you want to say again how much you are not a musketeer in case you didn't get it the first 2 times?
To sort of help things along, because everyone's in on it, de Treville gives this gathers all of these musketeers together, makes this like big speech about how Atos, Portos and Aramis have gotten D'Artagnan essentially killed, because now you didn't stop him from dueling,
and you ran away and you left him behind to die,
and now he's gonna be executed because of you.
And everyone's mad at them.
Yeah, everyone's mad at them. And
Aramis is really upset because he's never been unpopular before.
Love.
Constance is very upset with the 3 boys and slaps Aramis for getting the poor lad in trouble.
I mean, very upset in a sort of
matronly way.
Sort of
way.
Sort
of Mother Weasley.
So what are you going to do? So he's in prison. What are you going to do
you
about
kind of
it?
want to say, he's not in prison. He's going to be hanged!
Yeah, because she's just acting like he's...
Everybody seems pretty chill about the people who are going to be executed in this world.
Look what you've done! Like
oh my God's sake, you trained mud all over the carpet again. How about you clean that up? Not like, oh my God, are you going to save him or is he just going to die?
Is it just that Louis always sentences people to death,
but they never actually get executed? D'Artagnan is doing a very heavy-handed job of trying to convince this guy that he's not a musketeer. He just keeps going, but I'm not a musketeer. Just so you know, person I've only just met and shouldn't be this interested in, I'm not actually a musketeer. So Vidum's got this magic sleight of hand thing, and he keeps saying, you just have to distract the eye.
Yeah, that's his shtick. He does magic tricks.
He does.
He's a very interesting guy. I don't know how you'd come up with this villain in this show at this point in the show, because
the odd thing is that this guy could easily be the Moriarty to their heroes.
Yeah, but he's just an episodic
villain, but he's this guy who is a very intelligent commoner who talks about revolution, who does magic tricks, who's been imprisoned, who's very smart. He'd be a great major villain, or even a major
foil,
character.
yeah.
He's fantastic.
I feel like he was created by a character generator. This guy is a one-handed hook. He's a one-handed guy with a hook. Who
has green eyes and likes to play the violin in the moonlight while having a job as a fish salesman.
Exactly. Something like
it does
this.
Feel a little bit like that.
His motivation is random thing generated. His quirk is random thing generated. And it does make for an interesting character, though.
Very interesting character. Quite a cool character, actually. Apparently, every Good Friday, the Queen comes to the prison and pardons a bunch of the prisoners and gives them some money. And she's very concerned about the prisons and she wants to free everybody. Which de Treville kind of is like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
And the rest of the audience is like, oh, for God's sake. I know you're meant to be naive, but everybody? You want to free
she's basically
everybody
like all the prisoners
everybody.
are just these
Poor,
innocent, poor, put upon
probably
people.
quite a few of them were.
Yeah.
But there
in
were
day and
also the
age.
ones that weren't.
Make a long story short, D'Artagnan and Vadim escaped themselves through the stupidest trick in the book.
They literally go, oh my god, my cellmate is sick. They do the cellmate is sick tricks, guy. That's a terrible trick.
They lampshaded, which I sort of... They need to get
They
better
lampshaded
at
enough.
how they lampshade things.
Yeah, because this trick has been done in every parody and lampshaded in every... This isn't something you can just be like, oh, haha, we're doing that trick. No, this one's been done that way too. It's been done that way so much it's not funny. If you want to do this trick, I don't even know how you can do this originally anymore.
Yeah. They escape from their cell.
They escape.
And there's suddenly like a prison riot escaping
queen
sort of
there.
thing. With the queen there.
Do you know what happens? Vadim takes the queen hostage so he can
Because
escape.
that's...
That's ballsy, man. That is very ballsy. Everybody starts shooting. With the queen still kind of in the way.
Yeah, and the thing is that the first shots aren't coming from prisoners, because prisoners don't have guns.
No, they're
So
coming from the guards.
basically
The
the
guards
guards
are
are
shooting these guys who are running away with the queen
there.
Aramis has to throw himself on the queen to protect her
So,
from her guardsman's bullets.
Bringing us to my favourite what the fuck moment in this episode, and I would imagine continuously on the show. So, you remember, if you've watched the Leonardo DiCaprio Men in the Iron Mask, you know the deliciously, delightfully ridiculous D'Artagnan had an affair with Anna of Austria. And we're doing this apparently with Aramis here.
We have
Throws himself on her, on the
the
ground, the usual landing on top of you sort of thing, and goes, "It's alright, I've got you. Don't worry, it's okay now, it's over." He literally has
He's got a cut from shaving.
this, he has a cut from shaving. Literally, that's what it looks like. There's literally like this amount of blood on his neck somewhere in there that even looks like dried blood, like it's not bleeding or anything. And she goes, "Oh, you're hurt." I'm like, you wouldn't notice that. Like, honestly, you wouldn't even see that. Yeah, like, you have to have your nose stuck to his throat to even notice. We're clearly getting love at first sight between Aramis and the Queen.
Queen.
Which is stupid beyond belief, but kind of really cute. And I kind of like her, and I kind of like him. So I'm kind of interested to see where they go with it.
His complete kind of calm with flirting with the queen is a little bit disturbing.
Disapparently, I imagine we don't have the Duke of Buckingham at all. Like, it doesn't seem to exist. So we need to have somebody instead.
D'Artagnan and Vadim run away with Vadim's bestie from pre-prison days, and they kind of get broken out of their shackles, and there's a small moment where Vadim does so much better at interrogating than Aramis and Portos did, and actually semi-interrogates D'Artagnan briefly before deciding, oh no, he's cool.
For
He's
no
cool.
good reason, really. But I suppose we
Retrospectively,
find out
kind of get
later
that. Because he threatens to chop his fingers off with a chisel, and he's like, and no, I could tell in his eyes he's a good guy. He's with us. And I'm like,
We realize later that he probably knows that he's a musketeer with the Musketeers.
yeah.
And decides in that moment to use him to basically distract him.
So they run off and they meet up with Vadim's girlfriend, who's a prostitute named Sophie. Who's lovely.
Is that her name?
Like
She
her.
was a fun character. I feel like they're really wasting their minor characters who could be fun characters later on.
Yeah, they are. Well, D'Artagnan goes off to, once again, kiss a married woman.
He needs to meet with the boys somewhere, and he needs to use some pretext because Vadim's sort of buddy, second in command, who's kind of stupid but very loyal to Vadim, is following him. So he basically lies that he's going to go see his mistress and points out Constance as his mistress. Walks up to her, kisses her again. I don't know why nobody notices that this married woman is constantly being kissed in public. But, well, not quite in public, it's like in the evening,
servant
but
notices.
Gives
him a long look and wanders off to do the laundry.
What we think the plan is, what Vadim says, the plan is
to revolution. It is going to blow up the king and queen. Woohoo! Our plan for this episode is a revolution.
Regicide.
Murdering
the king and queen. That's the stakes. Like, we're literally...
We've raised the stakes from
staging.
death of a major character to... Let's just kill the king and queen. I'm not sure how much further we can go up. I don't know what we're going to do in the next episode, but I hope it's destruction of the world, because that's the only way we can raise the stakes anymore.
Nobody seems to be taking this sort of
not even mildly
conspiracy very seriously.
No.
They're kind of like,
the Musketeers are like, we should go capture him, but D'Artagnan's like, no. If you do that, the king and queen will still be in danger. Actually, they wouldn't have been, because most of his men were actually around at that time. He could probably have just gone and captured them. Probably have screwed up his entire plan. But hey.
There's kind of like a side plot with the queen's diamond pendant, which I don't know where that's going. Presumably we'll find out later more about it. But
yeah, we find out that Vadim used to work in the palace and that he gotten rid of when the diamond pendant went missing, and it was suspected that he had taken it. So
which he seems to have, because we see it later with his
with
mistress.
his girlfriend. Yeah.
And it ends up. I really don't know. It doesn't seem to have any bearing on the plot of this episode, but basically we find out that one of the royal jewels or whatever, a diamond pendant, went missing. He obviously stole it, gave it to his girlfriend. It ends up with Milady. I heard diamond pendant. I did wonder whether we were doing the Queen's Diamonds, which is the probably most famous original plotline from the book.
Yeah.
And I wondered if we were trying to do that in some shape or form. Not in this episode, at any rate. It honestly feels like Aramis is the main character in this episode.
This episode is a very
because essentially all D'Artagnan does extremely badly.
Very badly.
At being undercover.
And looks like Ben Barnes. Vadim very suspiciously goes, I'll tell you your part in the plan later. Here's the paper copy of what I plan to do in case you need it. Because that's not suspicious. How about you leave and go get some wine in an obvious way to give you time to hand this on to your friends? Like, seriously, if I'm ever undercover with a bad guy, and that bad guy goes, this is my notebook with all my plans in it. How about you take a long walk and get me a coffee? I'm just going to be like, I'm never coming back, and we should probably do better at our spying, because you obviously know I'm a spy.
Exactly, and I'd go to my friends and basically go, see this notebook, this is what he's definitely not doing. We've narrowed it down.
The opposite of whatever this is.
Yeah.
So he goes and he gives the plans to the Musketeers, and he goes back and he finds out they know he's a spy.
They all go to the king with this plan and go, okay, so this guy is planning on blowing up you and the queen on Good Friday, which is ironic because, that's right, or Easter Sunday. As you go and see the people, because apparently on Easter Sunday the king goes out and shows himself to the public or whatever.
Yeah.
So you should not go.
Yeah, we should use buddy doubles and draw
at
them out.
which point Anna goes, and like they're both. I understand that the king and queen are sort of both played as really naive.
Yeah.
And Louis is not meant to be. Louis is not. I don't think he's meant to be antagonistic in it. I think he's just meant to be manipulated by the cardinal a lot and be just very young and sort of naive and inexperienced.
Yeah.
And they both go, Anna goes, oh no, but when I was in the prison, you saved me, so I feel very safe, as long as you're there. And you can see it on their faces, they're going, dude, he's gonna blow us all up.
Yeah.
Like, this explosives.
We can't just, like, save you from explosive, we're all gonna die.
Even from shooting, like, how are you gonna save her? Because
Case her in metal? I don't know.
But either way, Anna goes, oh no, I feel safe with you. And Lee goes, oh, I'm not, my father never neglected his duties. And the cardinal wisely goes,
coward.
yeah, I'm not going to be a coward, I'm going to go. And we're going, but you're the head of this country. It's kind of important for you to be alive.
Your father was assassinated.
We
have this little moment in between where Aramis gets a crucifix from the queen as a gift, and Portos is watching them flirt, and afterwards is like, you remember what it was like when you flirted with the cardinal's girlfriend? Let's not do it with the queen!
Yeah, but Aramis is very clearly flirting. She's very clearly in love with him. He gets his little token of, whatever, gratitude.
I love you.
I'm not sure from this episode, judging by this episode, whether he knows what happened to his last mistress, because watching the last episode, I was assuming that he figured out exactly what had happened and probably suspected she had been killed. Watching this episode, he might not actually know. I don't know what is better. I prefer, in terms of last episode, it's better if he realized what happened. In terms of this episode, though, if he knows that she's been killed, it's a little, even if he wasn't in love with her, if it was just a random mistress, which he probably was, it's still a little too soon for him to be flirting with another woman, especially the queen. The king and queen go out on Easter, and people show up and start throwing bombs. Yeah. Aramis once again
flings himself on
top of a bomb to sort of
save the queen and all
well,
that.
Not only to save the queen, but
she was the closest to it.
She was the closest to it.
It was obviously to protect her.
Meanwhile, D'Artagnan has been knocked out and for plot convenience not killed. There's literally no reason for him to not be killed.
They lampshade that at the end of the episode, sort of. He goes, why didn't you kill me? And the guy's like, it was more fun that way.
That's not really lampshading, that's a lame excuse.
Lame excuse.
They realize that the bombs are all fake. The bombs that they've been throwing at the queen and king are all fake. At which point they go, fuck. Clearly he was trying to distract us. He's doing something else and there's a loud bang and they realize that this guy...
Oh, this is a beautiful thing.
It's blowing
up.
up.
Watch this episode just for this moment. It's beautiful.
That our villain, ladies and gentlemen, is blowing up the Louvre.
He is walking down a corridor of doors, throwing bombs, as he saunters to kind of rocky music with explosions bombing behind him as he stares at the camera, just going boom, boom, boom.
And of course, it's not loud at all. Nobody's
apparently there's nobody actually in that palace at that time at all. Because nobody comes running, he's all on his own, and there's just booms, and then he's just like, boom.
They go, no, he's not trying to kill the king, he's going to rob him.
He's going to steal the king's jewels. One has to hope that he has a plan to then leave the country, because there's no way he's going to be able to fence those. I mean, good luck with that. It's like fencing like the crown jewels of England. Who's going to buy the crown? Everybody knows where you got it from. Yeah, hilariously, D'Artagnan is meanwhile being tied up.
I kept getting flashbacks to Great Mouse Detective. That's literally what, you know, the very good villain or whatever, the girl being tied to the train tracks sort of thing.
But even more so, he's tied to a bunch of dynamite and the fuses lead to this candle on the table. In 15 minutes the candle will burn down and light the fuse, which will then explode the dynamite, which will then kill him. And like he puts a glass dome over the candle and leaves the room.
Really? You're gonna leave the hero with the crazy insane booby trap that you've created. I wish that he would have gone, evil laughter and ha sort of thing.
Yeah.
At the end, because that was the only thing that was missing there.
Basically.
And a cape.
So he kind of steals the stuff. He gets stopped by his comrades who had all the fake bombs, who apparently didn't know that they were a distraction. And they're kind of like, well, fuck you. And he's like, well, fuck you then. and he stabs his old buddy, and then the Musketeers surprise him, and all the buddies kind of start, it's the usual chaos scene as he escapes down the hallway. Luckily, D'Artagnan manages to realise that the ropes tying him aren't tied very well and unties himself.
Yeah, he doesn't. He tries to kind of cut them on the barrels or
He
whatever.
should have
Anyway,
realised
he
that
he gets free.
time. He goes to open the door after, extinguishing the fuse, and the door lights all these other fuses that he
The door is booby-trapped, which is kind
he
of
then
clever.
basically fails at extinguishing any fuse, despite the fact that all he has to do is step on it.
He
Keeps stepping on them, and they keep relighting those candles on top of a cake. It's like a hydra of fuses. He knocks one out, and suddenly there are 7 where there was only 3 before. And by the end, he's just like, "Oh shit, there's 20 fuses going now. I suck at extinguishing fire. I should just run."
Our bad guy is facing down Atos and Aramis, was it? Or Portos?
All of them.
It's facing all of them, and there's this brief moment where you might think that they were going for Atos, being concerned for D'Artagnan, because he asks about him, and the guy insinuates that he's dead or he's going to die, and you maybe almost see an emotion register there, potentially.
Atos almost
if you
feels bad.
squint.
Atos does spend the episode kind of bitching at people for getting
D'Artagnan in danger. There's a running theme. It's just that it's not very believable, but at least it's in the script.
Kind of downplayed a little bit.
It's in the script, you're meant to get. I know you're meant to get that Atos cares about him and doesn't want to get him killed. Everything blows up.
Everything blows up.
Everyone's knocked out.
Yeah, and the guy runs off, but D'Artagnan obviously got away.
D'Artagnan catches up to Vadim. The other Musketeers are knocked out, and they're in a dark room, hallway, whatever.
Hallway, I
but
think.
Vadim is holding a torch. So we get this strange scene where you compared it to Charles Xavier in X-Men, just doing the telepathy thing and his voice sounding from everywhere, but we basically get D'Artagnan going, "Here I am," from this angle, and I'm this way, and popping up from in the dark.
Very talented ventriloquist. I'm not sure how.
The idea is that he keeps popping from different places in the dark, and the other guy can't see him because I have no idea why he can't see him because he's holding a bloody torch. But it's dark all around, and D'Artagnan just pops from the darkness and disappears again.
Yeah.
Which is visually it's just kind of
such a strange.
It's a strange thing to happen at that
It's a very
point
weird
and
scene.
with this character, because the theme of tricks hasn't been built up for long enough to work.
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do magician's tricks and so forth. But you've only seen his coin trick. That's literally the only magician's trick we've seen.
Yeah.
So though D'Artagnan says, "I had a good teacher."
Yeah, about the trick, because he says that's a good
literally
trick.
no point where he was taught how to do tricks. So
He fight, D'Artagnan stops him, and then he walks into the light. There's this weird moment, again visually, that you're not quite sure why that's there, where
because he gets stabbed.
he gets
But
stabbed.
he runs away, and D'Artagnan doesn't really follow him. He just waits for the other Musketeers and is like, "You got wounded. We can follow him if you like." I mean, I don't know if you want to get the crown jewels back or not.
But he sort of walks into the light almost, and I'm like, where are we going with this? Did he just die? And then the very next, there's a cut, and then he's outside.
I think he was walking out into the...
No, I know he was walking out, but it's just, again, visually a very weird shot to have there, because it doesn't serve any purpose.
Yeah,
it seems significant, but it's not, because he's just walking out.
And they catch up to him and he dies.
Essentially, he dies from his stab wound.
Yeah. And they get the jewels back.
And that's the end of it, I suppose.
Yeah. His mistress gets murdered by Milady, who takes the
diamond
pendant, and that's pretty much it. It's an unusual, but very exciting and fun
It's
episode.
crazy. Blowing up the palace was fantastic. It's pretty cool. Explosives, because we need explosives. What are we gonna do without explosives in the Three Musketeers? I mean,
It's like the number one thing I think of when I hear Three Musketeers.
I was
It's
waiting
explosives.
with bated breath because last episode didn't really have an explosion, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is gonna suck
It's
without
just like,
explosions, man."
It's not true.
It's-
It's not true. 1600s Musketeer stories that explosives.
Check-
Pens
we
that
all-
turn into guns.
How much do you want to
and stuff.
bet that before the season is over, we're gonna get a carriage chase sequence?
Yes,
We're
we
definitely
are.
gonna
Something's
get a
gonna
carriage
fall
chase
off
sequence.
the side of a cliff and explode, even though there are no fuel tanks. Even though Kara shouldn't really do that anyway, but hey. So
it
it was a very fun episode. It was fun to watch. It kept me a lot more engaged than the original episode did. I enjoyed it.
I did
looking
as
forward
well.
to
I
seeing
thought
what
it
they
was
do in the
crazy,
next
but I
one.
enjoyed it.
Seeing if Atos manages to learn what the meaning of emotions is, if he's going to stay a robot for the rest of his life. Seeing if Aramis ever figures out what happens to his dead girlfriend. Seeing if Portos ever, manages to get a plot line. Seeing if D'Artagnan ever realizes he's really bad at the spying stuff. Seeing if Peter Capaldi finds the TARDIS. That's what I'm looking forward to in the next
That
episode.
is what I'm looking for as well. If you're looking for something that's really fun and insane, things like the dialogue and how they get in and out of situations, that's not going to surprise you. But what the absolutely insanely ridiculous plots of the episodes are might actually be
It
interesting.
surprised me so far. They do go in directions that aren't original, but you don't expect.
But you don't expect from
It's
this
just
show.
Yeah, it's just like, what? We're doing this now? Okay.
Yeah. We sort of like it. We'll keep watching, and
Yeah.
we're gonna see you in the next episode.
Sure.